Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. Right now I'm reacting to a video of Clash in Italy, how it should go. So start guys, like and subscribe.
Live from Turin, it's time for Clash in Italy. And it's kicked off with a blockbuster WWE Championship match between the Ring General and the American Nightmare. Gunther has gotten into Cody's head recently and created some serious doubts with him. But as Cody always says, he's easy to find and hard to beat. And he rallies like he always does. And we get deep into the match. And we notice that nobody does it better than Cody. And the crowd comes with him on it as well. As he lands a massive Cody cutter for the ages. And now he can stalk his prey. Sami Zayn is here. He's grown increasingly jealous of Cody over the last few months, and now he's getting directly involved in his title match, which leaves the door ajar for Gunther. He tries to lock in the rear naked choke, but again, Cody is hard to beat, and he fires up for one last rally. But in the midst of it all, the referee is knocked down. And Sami pounces. He slides in the ring as Gunther and Cody are scuffling for all kinds of position in the corner. And Sami runs in. And Cody was ready, throwing Gunther in the way. And Sami hits him with a haluva kick. But the referee saw it. And he has no choice but to disqualify Cody Rhodes. Gunther wins. But of course, you can't win the championship via disqualification. And Gunther is pissed. Rhodes escapes with the title, but Sami doesn't escape the Austrian, who cinches in a rear naked choke on him. And this time, it's Cody who watches on. But will he do anything about it? Well, it seems not. He just looks at Sami in the grips of one of the most dangerous men on the roster. And leaves.
I dare you to open.
Lynch be able to leave Italy with her championship because it's under serious threat from a very seriously talented newcomer in Sol Ruca, who is up next. And this one has some bad blood in it as well. Ruca was screwed out of the Intercontinental Championship on Saturday night's main event, and she doesn't want to be duped again. But Becky tries everything she can. She's desperate to bend and even break the rules whenever possible. However, it's in doing so that referee Jessica Carr grows increasingly frustrated with her. And now they're over near the corner arguing, and Becky actually shoves Jessica Carr. But instead of disqualifying her, she shoves her back. She pushes her into the corner. But in that, she's pushed her into the path of Sol Ruca. And Becky's soul and her title is snatched. Sol Ruca wins her very first main roster championship on the huge stage of Turin, Italy. And the crowd absolutely loves it. What a moment. And it's karma for Lynch, who is just devastated at ringside. But if you want to talk devastation, you have to be talking about the next match. Because up next, it's Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar 2. It's a showdown of colossal proportions, and Oba knows just how fired up Lesnar's going to be for this one, and he's ready. But can you really ever truly be ready for the Beast? He was at WrestleMania, but this is a whole other stratosphere because this is a wounded Lesnar who takes Oba to Suplex City. But just like WrestleMania, Oba isn't going to back down. He stands up and defies Lesnar, which riles him up even more. We've rarely seen this Brock Lesnar under this kind of threat, but also we've never seen him this angry because he goes rogue. He takes down Oba and he busts him open with an elbow. And now the crowd is questioning what is show and what isn't. It's gotten very real very quickly. And this is just how both men roll, but Lesnar is different. He's a man possessed, and he keeps hammering and hammering and hammering the open wound. So much so that it starts to gush with even more blood. But Oba just fights through it, and he keeps walking Lesnar down. But the blood is in his eyes, and he's temporarily blinded, which is all Brock Lesnar needs to hit him with not one, not two, but three F5s all in a row. Lesnar's words, he teaches this kid how to get his ass kicked. But what happens next says everything you need to know about the ruler. It's clear that this is far from over between them. Oba has shown he can take an ass kicking and get back up, which is a true sign of a future champion. But it's Jade Cargill, who's a former champion, who wants her title back in a big way against the Eradicator. And she has her well scouted, considering this is a WrestleMania rematch. But you can have Rhea Ripley scouted all you want. It doesn't change the fact that you have to find a way to wear her down. And even though Jade does a decent job, she can't quite put her away. But perhaps her friends can. Because here comes B-Fab and Michin. And of course, they start meddling with the match because B-Fab distracts the referee while Michin goes and gets a cheap shot on Rhea, jumps off the apron, and it's a massive assist because it gives Jade the opening she needs. Slams her face first with Jaded for the 1, 2, no. Rhea Ripley stays alive. It's almost impossible with 3-on-1. Rhea has backup. Michin and B-Fab are dispatched, but Jade is talking loads of trash to Charlotte, and the referee is distracted trying to get order between Alexa and the other two. And Charlotte takes a swing, but Jade moves and it connects with Rhea. It's a disaster. Jade knocks Charlotte off the apron, sets Rhea up for a second and definitely fatal Jaded, but Rhea rolls through. She tries for the pin. Jade kicks out, but she's thrown off. And Rhea gets her chance and takes her chance. She barely escapes. Charlotte almost cost her everything. And Jade is left crestfallen. But with all of these ingredients, you've got to ask, like every other issue tonight, is it really truly over between them all? I would think not. But what you do have to think about, if you're from the bloodline, is the consequences of the next match. Because this is Tribal Combat. This is the main event. And it's for everything. A family tradition, a sacred match that has less than sacred rules because there are none. You punish your opponent any way you can, and it's very fitting because Jacob has gone completely rogue from the family. A life with him as head of the table is unfathomable. However, it's a very real possibility because this gets ugly fast. And before we know it, for the second time tonight, blood is shed. And it's left all over the arena floor as they continue up on towards the stage. Brutal bombs being thrown, fighting with only the passion this family knows. But it's now more family comes out because the Usos are concerned. Jacob has that look in his eye and he's going to try and put Roman's head through the LED screen. But Roman fights out, drops Jacob with a headbutt and immediately tells the Usos to leave. He says they've broken the rules of Tribal Combat before, but that was then, this is now. Now, he wants to do it the right way. So they abide by his orders as the Tribal Chief. But how much longer will he hold that title, not just of Tribal Chief, but of World Champion? Because the fight really amps up and it gets even more diabolical. They pull out all kinds of dangerous weapons. Anything to get an edge, anything to end it. But while Roman is willing to go quite far to win it, Jacob seems willing to go further. But Roman reverses and drives him into the tags. Jacob kicks out with thumbtacks in his back. Roman now is getting desperate. He knows he's got to get more aggressive, so he sets up a table on the outside and he wants to drive Jacob through it. But as we said, Roman's willing to go quite far. But will he go this far? Roman hobbles over and under a lot of duress is forced to hang the Ulufala over Jacob's neck. He then goes to leave, but Jacob stops him because there's one more thing Roman has to do. He has to acknowledge him. And to his credit, he does. And then he finally gets to leave. But what happens next is unforgivable, because Jacob rips the Ulufala from his neck, shattering it to pieces all over the ground. And then he says, "Hey, Roman, I told you I didn't want to be you. I just wanted to take everything from you." Roman snaps. He can't believe the disrespect. He tries to get at Jacob, but there's no chance. He's got nothing left. And Jacob, with the Tongan death grip now locked in again, chokes him down. And now the Usos come out, but Jacob screams at them. He orders them, as their new tribal chief, to stand back, and they have no choice but to watch on as Roman is choked down, thrown to the ground in a pool of his own blood, surrounded by the remnants of the Ulufala. And now, not only is the family on notice with this new rogue head of the table, so is the entire WWE.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. I can't wait for Clash in Italy, y'all. Subscribe, y'all.